According to Urban Dictionary, glow up means a mental, physical, and emotional transformation for the better. It can be both natural or planned, as well as being gradual and permanent or fast and temporary. This term can be used when discussing real-life people as well as on-screen characters. Typically known as the makeover montage on screen, glow-ups have a history of being drastic, quick, unrealistic, and sometimes completely unnecessary.
Let's do a makeover. No.
If you're a millennial, Gen Z, or any generation other than Alpha, to be honest, you probably have a favorite movie that includes a makeover montage trope. Movies such as The Princess Diaries, Miss Congeniality, Clueless, She's All That are just to name a few. I mentioned these to provide a mental picture of what we're used to seeing when characters go through a transformation on screen. Keep in mind that they usually didn't ask for, it was suggested upon them, but they were still willing participants. Obviously, all the media I listed were movies and not TV shows, so the speed in which these glow-ups occur can be explained by the amount of time that they have to work with. Makeover is a useful storytelling tool that demonstrates the evolution a character is going through. In the traditional ways we've seen them, the character receiving the makeover usually goes through the physical change first, and their attitude and personality will slowly start to reflect that outward change. Depending on the execution of the trope on screen, oftentimes it has this redundant messaging that a woman's before is less valuable and less attractive than her after. Getting rid of physical attributes that never made them unattractive in the first place, such as glasses, thick eyebrows, and curly hair, instead of properly teaching them how to style what they've got.
You know, you really do look a lot better without all that black shit on your eye. Hey, I like that black shit.
The traditional trope relied heavily on painting the picture that there was only one true after worth achieving, and if you didn't, did you really get a makeover? What I love about Abbott Elementary's approach to the glow up is that Janine starts changing within first. Since the beginning of Abbott Elementary, Janine has always been described as an overly enthusiastic, plucky person with a very optimistic, can-do attitude. Janine, like every well-written, complex character, has moments of insecurity such as issues regarding her people-pleasing nature or her inability to process failure or rejection relating to her teaching ability.
Can't believe the entire world can read that I'm a bad teacher.
We see that while she does have moments of struggling with confidence and self-doubt, those situations never involve her physical appearance, even when constantly being hit by jokes at her expense from her coworkers.
Well, it's weird. You should get that checked out.
Okay.
In season 1, we are introduced to the basic DNA of Janine's style. Maxi skirts, funky belts, loud, often mixed-matched patterns, and baggy, unintentionally ill-fitting silhouettes. We see a lot of Janine's playful personality in her clothing, which illustrated the wide-eyed innocence she carried through her second year as a second-grade teacher. She has an idea of the kind of clothing she likes and what she enjoys seeing herself in. Her main issue is finding pieces that properly fit her and figuring out how to properly arrange said pieces to either complement each other or contrast interestingly as opposed to jarringly. I've never had an in-office big girl job, but I imagine that Janine's styling journey is very realistic to someone who's going into their first job at a university and trying to figure out how to authentically express themselves through fashion in the workplace or figure out how to create a new fashion sense for their job. Add a teacher salary and limited resources to the mix, there's only so much that we can expect from her. Her hair is also a big topic of conversation, not because it was necessarily bad, but because it was actually fairly realistic and most viewers didn't expect to see that. Everyone knows that hair is a big deal in the Black community. If there's one thing Black characters usually have down on screen, it's their hair. So seeing Janine's hair be so, for lack of better words, ordinary felt weird. A popular show like this showing a Black woman who had average hair and didn't care for styling it beyond a few easy low ponies or half up, half downs created this extra layer of realism that makes the evolution of her style much more enjoyable. Moving on to season 2, this is when the slow shift starts happening. Spoiler alert, Janine starts off the season single after breaking up with her decade-long boyfriend Tariq, so naturally that's going to inspire some physical changes and experimenting. She tried out a different part in her hair, which to most people isn't a big deal, but at this point in Janine's character development, it says a lot. She's not only open to change and new experiences, but she's going to take them into her own hands. In season 2, episode 10, Holiday Hookah, we get to see a different side of Janine than her typical quirky professional self. Stepping a bit outside of her comfort zone to go clubbing with her friend Erica, we see Janine with straightened hair, more defined makeup, a sparkly mini dress, and a wool trench coat that she also wears to work. Based on her appearance in this episode, we're meant to conclude that Erica helped her get ready, but it's clear Janine is feeling herself in this look and owning it. This is one of my favorite episodes because sartorially, we get to see a glimpse of who Janine has grown into in more recent seasons. In her regular wardrobe, we see that her clothes are starting to fit her much better. Turtlenecks that were once a bit bunchy are now form-fitting and complementary to her signature maxi skirt wide belt combo. Her love of florals, stripes, maximalist prints, and bright colors is flourishing and and being styled more cohesively. If season 1 was prepping the ingredients and season 2 was cooking, season 3 was serving up the dish and eating it up. Let me set the scene for you guys. So there was a writer strike, and then there was an actor strike, which meant that Abbott Elementary's season 3 premiere was pushed months back. When it finally came back, the show did a time jump in the smartest way possible, and this moment is when we got to see the fruits of Janine's glow-up labor.
Look at what she's wearing.
Yeah, that's a freakum dress.
My girl had her version of a bust-down middle part, was rocking a polished skirt suit, an elevated makeup routine, and most importantly, introduced my favorite outfit silhouette of hers yet, the form-fitting, long-sleeve maxi dress. Quinta Brunson herself stated that during the time jump, she thinks that Janine started taking the time to watch YouTube tutorials on how to improve her hair and makeup because these were things that she was beginning to find more enjoyment in. Partnered with her new job at the district, which presented her with new professional opportunities and a new air of confidence, we see that drastically represented in her styling. This is Janine at her most polished, showing us that she does have what it takes to fully embrace this new environment and once again experiment with her fashion sense, but this time in another direction. Although most people might see Janine in season 3 as the best that she could be, being at the district has caused her to feel disconnected and lose a bit of herself. We see her wearing less colors in scenes not at the school and sticking to uncomplicated prints. Much like the typical makeover trope, she does look great, but she looks like the conventional after that everyone strives for when they go through a glow up. But she no longer resembles that quirky Janine Teagues we know and love. That's why when she ultimately decides to leave the district and go back to Abbott Elementary, I wasn't surprised and I was happy with the outcome of the storyline. Season 4, the season we're currently on, is what I would consider Janine at her best post glow up. She's taken her experiences from the last few years and learned how to use them in tandem to properly express herself. We're back to the funky patterns, fun belts, and maxi skirts. The maxi dresses from season 3 have successfully stuck and become a staple, elevating her wardrobe to new levels, and the inclusion of more fun accessories shows us that Janine has truly learned what works for her. The reason I think Abbott Elementary mastered Janine's glow up is because she never felt pressured to have one. Even when the others would make fun of her outfits, there was never a moment when we saw her considering changing in order to fit in and appease them. She showed us what it looks like to realistically take steps in self-improvement as she continued to discover new things about herself without permanently alienating the characteristics that made her unique in the first place. Her glow up happened gradually and naturally through seasons-long evolution and not a cliche montage or a singular episode where everyone commented on her after appearance, which I heavily appreciated. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on my main channel and my Instagram, and I'll see you guys in my next video.